Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be going over a frequently asked question that people ask me all the time, and that's going to be, would you use a caliber conversion for defense, for home defense, for carry, whatever the case may be, for serious use, would you use a caliber conversion? Now, I have several videos on caliber conversion guns, how to do it, things you can expect, tips, stuff like that. So they're all out there. If you're looking for them, just Google my name and conversion. It'll come right up. So moving on, would I do it? There's a couple things I want to look at. First is going to be reliability. The second one is going to be the legality of it. So let's get into reliability first, because in my opinion, for defensive use, that's paramount above everything and anything. So we'll use an example. I literally got this question today, which is why I'm going to use it as an example, but it'll serve for every other example out there. Somebody said, I have a Glock 23. If I had a Glock 19, if I put a 9mm barrel in it and make it a Glock 19, which doesn't really make it a Glock 19, but if I make it a Glock 19, can I use it for self-defense, or should I use it for self-defense? My answer is I don't know. And the reason I don't know is because I don't know. Nobody knows. There's not a single person on the planet besides the person who owns that gun that can answer that question. What I mean by that is, regardless of what gun you have, whether it's a brand new factory XD, M&P, 1911, Glock, whatever the case may be, just because it says, for instance, I have an affinity for Glock 17s. Just because it says Glock 17 on it, somebody's not going to hand it to me and I'm going to go, oh, I love this gun, and never shoot it and just put it on my nightstand and expect that it's going to be reliable in the event that I need it for defensive use, right? What I'm going to do with that gun is go out and shoot it a lot, and shoot it with the defensive ammo that I'm going to use in it, whether it be for concealed carry, home defense, whatever the case may be. I'm going to use that ammo in it to ensure it runs properly. I'm going to ensure, proper function, slide locks back, good ejection, good extraction, all that stuff. So I'm going to check for everything, and I would do that with any gun I'm going to use for defensive carry. So whatever your standard may be, some people say 200 rounds, some people say 500 rounds, some people say 1,000 rounds. Whatever it is, regardless, if you would do it for, your new shield that you bought because you're going to carry it for concealed, if you're going to put a bunch of rounds through it before you carry it, you should do it with your conversion. So if you're going to carry a conversion, and I know guys out there that shoot a lot of competitions, and there's a guy I know that has a 35 that he's converted to a 34, and he has like something ridiculous, like 8,000 rounds through it with one malfunction. And he was just telling me this the other weekend. So that seems like a fairly reliable gun, right? I don't think there'd be a problem carrying that gun or using that gun in a home defense situation in that setup, in terms of reliability anyway. Now, somebody who says, I just got this new lone wolf barrel in and dropped it in and I put 50 rounds through it, should I use it for home defense? And they've had two malfunctions. No, absolutely not. That's the way you can do it. So the answer is I don't know, and the only way you can find out is to check for reliability, just like you would with any other gun. You need to check that with your conversion process, the same process you'd use for any new gun. So that's reliability. The other factor, like we mentioned earlier, is going to be the legality of it. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I don't play one on TV. So the upfront answer on that, first and foremost, is the easiest way to avoid any sort of, attorneys trying to turn something in court is just use a factory gun. I say that all the time because it's true. So just let's think about the legality of a conversion, though, right? So I'm not giving legal advice here because I don't know, but I'm a logical, thinking, reasonable person like anybody else. So, if you're going to go from a 40 caliber to a 9mm, for instance, right? Generally speaking, most folks would agree that a 9mm is a less powerful gun than a 40 caliber gun. Now, is it more effective? That's for another video. But most people are going to say it's a less powerful gun. It'd be a pretty tough case for an attorney to make the case that, or a prosecutor to make the case that you had some evil intentions by turning your 40 caliber gun into a 9mm gun. So that's just my thought on that. However, other conversions, like for instance, you guys have seen my Glock 21 that's converted to 460 Roland. Now that is a much more powerful round by a lot, not even by a little. So it's a much more powerful round. I suppose it could conceivably be turned in a court of law that you did something to make your gun, more powerful and more deadly and more lethal and all that stuff, which in the end, if we're using a firearm for defense, lethality is the objective. So, that's a whole nother argument, but we have to keep in mind that most people watching this video are going to be much, much more informed than the general public, and a jury is the general public. So many of them are ignorant about guns in general and anything having to do with guns. So especially caliber, which is sort of a nuanced thing, they're probably not going to understand. And if someone's telling them it's more powerful, they're automatically going to believe it and assume that perhaps there's malicious intent there. So that's just something to think about. But again, the easiest way to avoid all that is to use a factory gun. So when in doubt, use a factory gun. Now, again, the legal aspect is something that you as an individual are going to have to reconcile, just like you as an individual are going to have to test in terms of reliability. So that's pretty much it, guys. I don't know if I answered the question, but the reality is it's not a simple yes or no answer. It's something that requires critical thought, like most things, when it comes to defensive use of firearms. So that's pretty much it. That's my take on it. And the next time I get this question, which will be like within 30 minutes, because I get this question multiple times a day. So the next time I get this question, I'm going to forward them the link to this video, and that'll be my answer. And at the end of it, they're going to say, just tell me. But the answer is, I don't know. And you have to apply some logic and decision-making process to the question. So that's pretty much it, guys. I don't know if I answered the question. Hopefully I did. If you have further questions that need clarity, by all means, post below in the comment section. You can also post over at my Facebook page as always. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next video.